Restoring Hope Ministries and its educational arm, RHSBC, operate as a highly structured ecosystem designed for deep soul care and ministry education. Most care models fall into one of two categories. You have in-house church counseling, which relies heavily on scripture, but often operates informally. On the other side, you have clinical therapy, highly regulated and legally structured, but often disconnected from biblical principles. This diagram shows how RHM bridges that gap. We map biblical depth on one axis and clinical and legal safety on the other. Typical church counseling plots here: high biblical, low legal. Secular therapy lands here: low biblical, high legal. The RHM ecosystem aims for the top right quadrant, integrating theological care with strict legal awareness. Reaching that top quadrant requires a specific trade-off. It demands complex governance, intense vetting processes, and rigid legal boundaries that many informal ministries prefer to avoid.
That creates a clear requirement for anyone looking to get involved. Whether you are leading the organization, funding its care, or enrolling as a student, you have to leave casual expectations at the door and submit to a highly structured commitment. To determine if this model fits your goals, we will analyze the required inputs and outcomes across three specific pathways: board leadership, church partnership, and student formation. Let's start with the first pathway, stepping into a role on the board of directors. The baseline workload is substantial. Board members are expected to dedicate an average of 9 hours a month to the role, sign mandatory ethics agreements, and actively participate in annual community events. This chart breaks down RHM's unique safeguard for leadership appointments. A candidate enters the system and must complete a mandatory 1-year period of general service and mentorship. Only after that year does the path branch into either approval for an officer role or a reevaluation of the fit. By delaying operational agility, the ministry gains time to observe actual character over long-term service. This protects the organization from elevating charismatic but unseasoned leaders too quickly. The current reality of the board includes a period of founder governance. Right now, the ministry's founder also serves as the board chair. Holding both roles creates an inherent tension. The board is required to actively manage a succession plan to eventually transition the chair position to a new, fully vetted leader. The ministry is building the ship while afloat. Board members must be comfortable writing foundational policies and shaping infrastructure, rather than just managing existing systems. Board service at RHM functions as a high-effort fiduciary and spiritual commitment, demanding patient oversight and active participation in the ministry's growth. The second stakeholder pathway is for pastors and elders considering a church partnership. This table visualizes the church partnership tiers, showing exactly how financial support translates into care. A $250 support tier provides a baseline of roughly 2 subsidized sessions. A $1,500 equipping tier covers about 15 sessions, and a $5,000 cornerstone tier secures around 50 sessions for the congregation. Churches allocate real budget upfront. In return, they secure land for their members and gain access to direct pastoral consultation for complex cases. RHM maintains a strict boundary between pastoral care, biblical counseling, and clinical interventions, like neurofeedback and brain spotting. When a situation involves abuse, severe psychiatric crises, or requires legal intervention, RHM initiates a mandatory referral policy to outside professionals. This rule exists so the ministry never attempts to spiritualize a situation that is actually a medical or legal emergency. Partnering churches have to respect those strict clinical boundaries. RHM is designed to provide robust theological care, but it is not a catch-all for severe, unmanaged congregational crises. Our third and final pathway is for prospective students looking at the Restoring Hope School of Biblical Counseling. The school currently holds theological accreditation through the AATI. It is crucial to understand the exact nature of this credential. It delivers rigorous biblical training, but it does not grant regional accreditation, and it does not provide state authorization for clinical licensure. Looking at this timeline, you can see the school's major upcoming operational shift. On the left is the current model, which relies on self-study and an online learning management system. Tracking to the right, you see the goal for fall 2027, launching a cohort model. Between them are necessary milestones for curriculum readiness and practicum capacity. When that cohort model launches, it will mandate new intensive requirements for students, including supervised clinical practicums and oral defenses. Students will give up the flexibility of self-paced study. What they get in return is deep relational formation, real-time supervision, and consistent peer accountability. This program is designed for individuals seeking intense, supervised pastoral formation. If someone is looking for a shortcut to a secular therapy career, this is the wrong fit. Aligning with Restoring Hope Ministries means stepping into an organization simultaneously providing high-level community care and actively building its own foundational infrastructure. Let's map these trade-offs to see exactly who belongs in this ecosystem. Here are 3 scorecards: the ideal board member, the ideal partner church, and the ideal student. The ideal board member is a seasoned leader willing to submit to a 1-year vetting process and dedicate significant time to shaping organizational policy. The ideal partner church is a congregation willing to fund a formal care pipeline while strictly adhering to external legal and abuse reporting boundaries. And the ideal student is someone seeking intense, supervised biblical formation, fully understanding this is not a path to clinical licensure. These strict boundaries, layers of accountability, and high-effort requirements provide the foundation for a trustworthy and sustainable ministry ecosystem.